When there is light in the darkness that comprehends that darkness, darkness no longer exists. Welcome, dear Gnostic Takeover, friends and family. Hello to all listeners. I've got a few slides prepared for you, and this continues the theme basically of the video I did on the protection of the abuser. Go and watch that because it's similar in theme. And I'm gonna go deep, and I'm happy to go deep because we can do that. Because we can go deep. That's where the true power lies. So this quote by Paul Levy, whose work I have recommended to everyone. I do not agree with everything that Paul Levy writes and concludes, however, I agree with most things. And it's an extraordinary work that Paul has put together. And you shall find, the same as I've found, lots of wisdom that is triggered in you by reading his work. So, this is what the Gnostic Takeover is all about. The Gnostic Takeover is decoding Wetiko, that which is at the core foundation of what Paul Levy writes about. The Wetiko spirit, the spirit of evil. And the expression Wetiko comes from the Native American tradition. And I feel it is very appropriate to describe the Matrix and how the Matrix has us. The reason I use this term so much is because I do not like to use the term Satan. Also, the term Archon, that was first put into widespread use by John Lamb Lash, who I want to credit with that. However, Wetiko has sort of like the Wetiko, the wickedness. It, as a frequency, describes much better the underlying dynamics of the phenomena of Wetiko. Once we know the dynamics of Wetiko, and we know what Wetiko is, we're blessed with ultimate knowledge, gnosis, being able to discern between the artificial reality that is informed by Wetiko, that is the Matrix, and to be able to anchor ourselves in original natural reality, what is also called prime reality in the Hermetic tradition. So, this video was inspired by this quote. When there is light in the darkness that comprehends that darkness, darkness no longer exists. And that goes hand in hand with my contention as a naturally talented teacher that I am. This is where I have my best ability. that perfectly describes how we get out of the matrix. We need to comprehend the darkness in order to be in the light of the truth. And that means we need to learn. There is always a learning lesson with darkness. What is darkness? It is the unknown. And that is a further discussion. The difference between darkness and Wetiko. Maybe it is one and the same. Maybe Wetiko is the unknown, the spirit of evil. But that's another topic for another discussion. So we need to comprehend that darkness and shine a light on it, face it. And in that respect, I want to mention the sentience of innocence. Put your awareness, you can choose to put your awareness on how that picture makes you feel like. Isn't that worth fighting for? Isn't that worth everything? Our children? Our human family? Let's remember what is fundamental to our experience. And a picture says more than 1,000 words. This is what my work is truly dedicated to serve, because that's why I'm here. That's why I'm showing up every single day in the battlefield of the mind. For those children. And by doing that, by entering the battlefield of the mind, I'm healing my own child. I'm always a child, will always be a child, because I am innocent. Even now, in a few days' time, I'll be 32 and I'm still a child, with inborn natural intelligence and humor. The point is that sentience is what I want us to focus on right now. The sentience of innocence. Do you recognize yourself in that child? In those two children? It is a very hidden source of power, because it is so that the innocent are moral. Here we go again. Morality. First and foremost, of most importance. And I want to direct our attention to the fact that we are a sentient species. Our being is filled with sentience. That's why detect, decode, defect, seal and protect is the four main principles of Gnosticism. And our sentience links directly to our innocence as well as to our intuition. Our intuition also is represented by what I like to term heart anchor intelligence. The longest journey we'll ever make, isn't that so? Lots of people would quickly point to what can we do about the world situation. A lot of people would point that we have to go into the heart and live from the heart. Yeah, sounds good. However, the multi-trillion euro-dollar question is, well, how do we do that? Yeah, because right there is the resolution. The 0-point energy field that emanates and vibrates out from the heart. Magnetics. The activation of the magnetics. And it is the longest journey we'll ever make. But does that make it difficult? This is a very strong picture. I've said it before. Very much exemplifies the spirit of wickedness, spirit of evil, Wetiko. And as it goes, it is. And that is the true recipe of a wise warrior, is in order to know thyself, you need to know thy enemy. So only by knowing thy enemy will you know thyself. Those two things are interlinked with each other. That's why a wise warrior looks at what the enemy really is and what its weak points are. And let me initiate you here into one of the best kept secrets hidden within secret societies and not very complicated. However, it needs to be pointed out. And this goes right to the source of power. Okay? I say here, do what they can't do. They being the enemies of life, the expressions in our world today of Wetiko. I say, do what they can't do. Question is, what is it that they can't do? We're back with sentience and innocence, being the hidden source of power. Big claims I'm making here. How is it that no one talks about this? Heart anchor intelligence. All right. I want to speak about love here because, as we know, don't we? Well, love is the answer. Yeah, that's right. If anyone freaking knew what love is and how to get some love, huh? Isn't that a great secret? We would do really good to unveil. Yeah. You see, the thing is that love is the all-encompassing vibration that holds all of creation together. Has to be so. Love is the ultimate, and love is where the heart is. Love is right here, right now, has always been here, will always be here. We can tune in to the vibration, the energy of love. However, as we can, which is very well displayed here in this picture, there are onion ring formation. There's an onion ring formation around our heart. And these are the onion rings of emotion that we need to get on top of. Or, in other words, the onion rings of emotions that we need to cleanse, especially in these times of what I would like to call the Great Purging. We're living in times of the Great Purging, and the more you purge, the more you activate the magnetics of heart anchor intelligence. That's what is needed right now. That is your answer to all of the world's problems. So, speaking about love, isn't it true and a plain and simple fact that we need reminding of every day that only those receive love who love themselves? And loving thyself has to do with the sentience of innocence, our sentience. So let's take a look at these wonderful children and let's counteract that. Okay, and let's compare it with the feeling of these children. Okay, what do these children represent? Pay special attention to your feelings, because this video is about sentience. What do you feel? And what do you feel now? Has anything changed? Better, isn't it? Yeah. The energy flows better. Because this represents more our nature in comparison to this. Yeah, that's how we know that truth does exist. For there is a nature. There is our nature, and there is that which is not of our nature that we do not wish to resonate to. Isn't that so? So we need to go back, we need to come back to that innocence, okay? And that means that first and foremost, we need to forgive ourselves for whatever comes to your mind when I say the words, do you regret anything in your life? What do you regret? What would you like to change about your life? What makes you feel like you're not worthy of love? What is that? Take that right now. And feel that. And you can pause this video now and just be with that feeling. What is it in this moment? Why you do not receive love? Pause right now and just feel. 4. Heart-anchored intelligence may be the longest journey we'll ever make. However, it need not be difficult. Because let me tell you something about the world of emotions. And yes, I'm a man who studies. Also, next to law, next to quantum physics and quantum mechanics and everything that I love to look into to decode the matrix, I study emotions. Doesn't make me a unique man, and I'm just someone who knew that was a big part of the picture. That is as big a part of the picture as it is actually was a big surprise to me. It's massive. Because emotions are energy in motion. It's all about energy. That's where we get our power. So there you've got the link between feelings and emotions, heart anchor intelligence, and power. That where everyone's saying Putin's doing a power play here and here's a power play. No, they're not doing power plays. They've got no power. That's why they're on the news, to get the power of you. That's exactly why they're on the news, and that's exactly why the Gnostic takeover is not on the news. Because we are the news. It may be the longest journey we'll ever make, but it could be so simple. Because heart anchor intelligence feels, and feelings are everything that the mind cannot grasp. It's like with this quote, it's like light and darkness do not come together as well only when they're comprehended, when they're fitted together. They need to be merged together, what is also called the synthesis of opposites. Light and dark are opposites, and maybe the workings of the mind are opposite to feeling. And here we've got a massive decoding going on right now, because that's where we enter point 0 of heart anchor intelligence. And this is where I say, do what they can't do. That's how you strike the enemy strongest. Do what they can't do. Feel. You are a sentient being of innocence. Feel. Feel that pain coming up. And that, you see, Everyone wants love. That's at the core of our being, because it is all, the whole fabric of reality and all of existence is encapsulated by love. Everyone wants love. Why does no one get love? Why is everyone else who you think are in love, which I would say they're actually not, they're in codependent relationships? And the thing is, we only get to the love by first integrating the onion rings of emotions over our heart. So the way we get to love is we need to cry the tears of the element of water. We need to give space to our anger that represents the element of fire. We need to give space, seal and protect the space to integrate feelings of fear that is like making the element of earth tremble. And only then will we feel joy like the wind is blowing through our hair at the beaches of Costa Rica. And then we can go for the ultimate pain of the heart, that is the shame. And all we need to do when these feelings come up is do what they can't do. Feel. Why is it that no one wants to show their feelings? What is wrong with people? What is wrong with you? That's the problem in the world. Very hidden from us. Very hidden from us. That's why they called the document Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. For we go to sleep quiet because we're afraid to be who we truly are and show our sentience. To realize that the true power lies in energy that is energy in motion of the world of emotions. The anger, the fear, the worry, the doubt. Feel all of it. Feel it. The sadness, the shame. When it comes up, feel it. That's what you can do to save the world. Do what they can't do. Know thy enemy, and you know the self. You get power by feeling emotions. This is what is the name of the game. This is what I would call the race for the new beginning is decoding Wetiko. That's the ultimate. The field of Wetiko that informs the entire elite control structure. The network and the high level people are watching these videos because they themselves have not come to figure out that which the Gnostic takeover is decoding. I know they are, because it's up to you to guess who's on top of the information pyramid. which is the reason why we're taking over naturally. This is what it's all about, decoding Wetiko. So when we speak so much about Wetiko, it might be a good idea to ask, what is Wetiko? And Wetiko is what we learn from the work of Paul Levy, who I want to credit. Wetiko is a semantic disorder. Now, what does semantic mean? Semantics. In other words, Wetiko is a disorder that distorts and deviates the meaning that we put to our life. It hijacks our perception of what we give meaning to in our life, which is of our choosing. We choose what we give meaning to our life. And I just happen to have chosen children for the meaning of life. However, Wetiko being a disorder of deceiving us, of deception, a disorder that deviates our perception about our meaning that we put to our life. That's where we can start anew again and put meaning where it belongs. This is what it is. Start giving meaning to your life again and change the meaning. For otherwise, you're being informed by Wetiko, what is then pushed as your meaning, and that's what explains all the marketing that goes on with the products, all the advertisement industry. Now we know why all of the entertainment is going on, and people spend their lives on Netflix, because Wetiko is informing them about the semantics. Wetiko is informing them about their meaning of their life, because they don't know the meaning of their own lives. It deviates that and then programs us with a different meaning, which then makes people get the genetically modification of their own bodies, because Wetiko is informed. So the importance of this is that when you know Wetiko, it has no power over you. Just like only when you're in fear of something does that hold power over you. It's Wetiko. So when you know Wetiko, and the Wetiko is not one thing, so you're not going to come out of this video and know exactly what Wetiko is. Oh, it's a semantic disorder that deviates the meaning that we hold and put on our life. That's one angle to Wetiko, which is not just 360-degree angle and 360 pieces of that. No, it is a multi-dimensional phenomenon, which is why I focus on it in many videos. So when you know Wetiko, it has no power over you, and then the power is with you. And in other words, and this is exactly what the Gnostic takeover is here to do, is we checkmate the matrix on all levels. And right now, because we're all about not only solution to all of the world's problems that we face, so good, someone's got some of that, huh? Not only have we got solutions, but we have got the resolution. But all we can do is point to it, but you have to see it for yourself, which is why no one can do the heart anchor intelligence work for you, integrating the onion rings of emotions into your heart. Only you can do that. When you integrate those stuck emotions of fear, of trauma, then, only then do you become powerful, because the power is the energy, is the emotions. That's why it's a solution and a resolution, because it's up to you to do it. So you do not wait for the Gnostic takeover to do it for you. That's why we're fully honest here, because we'll always be here for you, because we're doing our job. We'll always be here for you. It will always be for free, because that's how it works. Remember, we're innocent. Do not charge any money, because we are the charge. That's what the Gnostic takeover does. We checkmate the matrix, and we do it by pointing out to you to do your emotional work. Let the emotions come up and transform them. No one can do this for you. And that's why tune in on our channel here on Telegram. We'll do another live soon, and I'll upload it also to do a guided meditation where you can do that. And then we'll share on the group, so underneath you can join our Telegram channel, in our community space, where we can share about our experiences, what happened to us, and transform those emotions. That's a checkmate of the matrix. It's not just intellectual knowledge that I share about the law for mankind, everything that I share there, the intellectual knowledge about the matrix and how it works. The other side, the flip side of the coin, is the world of emotions. And we here at the Gnostic Takeover, we marry that together. The left and the right hemisphere of the brain together, holistic. One unit, holistic intelligence. So, let's end the quote. When there is light in the darkness that comprehends that darkness, darkness no longer exists. So when you shine the light of your awareness, so right now you're looking at this picture, your awareness is pointing to the picture. When you shine the light into the inner world of your body, when you shine the light on those unexpressed emotions of fear, of doubt, of self-doubt, of worry, of regret, of sadness, of shame, you're entering the darkness, the inner world of feelings and emotions. And then you marry the light with the darkness. And that is the true synthesis of opposites. Then and only then can we contextualize the world crisis to the past.